Kinds of chemical bonds, part 2. A lot of people get confused with this worksheet because they're not sure what's going on with these two atoms up here. What is happening is this is going to make an ionic bond, and I've just given you one of the answers, I believe, for this, but I want to make sure you guys understand what's going on in an ionic bond. If you have one atom that has very few electrons around the outside of it, valence electrons, it's going to give those away to empty out that shell, because this outer shell, no matter which one is the outermost one for an atom, the outer shell is most stable if it has 8 valence electrons. So if we get rid of these two, then this level's gone and we'd have 8 in that level before it, so that would make this atom stable. If I look at this one, it already has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 outer electrons, which means it only needs 2 more to make the total of 8, which is the magic number for a stable atom. So if we have one that can give away these two and one that can gain these two, then they will form an ionic bond with each other. They want to join up together so that he can empty out and he can get his 2 more to make a total of 8. Now, based on whether it gains or loses electrons, we'll give it a charge. If I lose these negatives, remember our protons in here have a positive charge. So since the protons here have a positive charge and I'm losing 2 of these negatives that are canceling out those positives, we're going to have more positives now than we have negatives, because right now there are 12 electrons around the nucleus and there are 12 protons inside the nucleus. When those are no longer the same number, I'm going to have more of one than the other, which means I'll have a charged ion. An ion is an atom with a charge. So protons are positive, electrons are negative. If I have more protons, then I have a positive charge. If I have more electrons, I have a negative charge. Whichever one I have more of is the type of charge I have. If I have more protons, it's a positive charge. More electrons, negative charge, and however many more I have is the number in that charge. So if I have more protons than electrons, I'll have a positive whatever charge for however many more protons I have. Okay? When we get down to the bottom of this page, it is just a chart where we're going to fill in these blanks with this word bank down here. So how it's formed is what happens to the electrons. The smallest particles are what are made in these bonds. And then what state it is at room temperature, in other words, is it solid, liquid, or gas. So fill this in with this information down here using your reading materials, and if you still have any questions, please feel free to ask me.